So what is the central sensitization? Central sensitization is also some type of the spinal modulation, special type of the spinal modulation. So one more time, let's get through the text. So spinal modulation is observed under certain circumstances. This is phenomenon where the capacity of transmission in the nociceptive system is changed or shows a neuronal plasticity. What does it mean? It means that when we have some transmission, yes, so when we have the spinal cord and when the information passes to the spinal cord, it will change how this pain will be perceived. Yes, so this is mainly about the C fibers. So when the pain is getting through the C fibers to the spinal cord, it will change. Yes, it will, let's say, plastically deform. Yes, of course, it's not sound from the physiological perspective, but you can imagine this in that way. Plasticity is about change. Yes, like you have something plastic, you can change the shape of it. In this case, the plasticity means something similar. So plasticity in this case is that the cells of the spinal cord will change in such a way that it may increase the pain sensation. Yes, so the modulation caused by the central sensitization will generally increase perceived pain, although the information, so transduction, will be the same. Yes, so the central modulation may increase the transmission, may increase the pain that we feel, although no new problem is happening. So the result of this is that after a noxious stimulus of sufficient intensity and duration, such as surgical incision, the coding of pain signaling for a given stimulus may be increased. So when you have some trauma, like a surgical incision, yes, surgical incisions are generally huge traumas relatively, yes. We can't imagine to get a surgery without anesthesia, yes. But for our organism, yes, for our transduction mechanism, anesthesia, at least this general anesthesia, changes nothing, yes. The transduction happens still, yes. The painkillers will stop transmission, will cause modulation of the pain, but they will not stop transduction, yes, in most of the cases at least. And this may lead to some problems, yes. Of course, there are some ways to reduce these problems, but still, this spinal modulation is one of the reasons, this type of the spinal modulation called the central sensitization is one of the reasons for the fibromyalgia that we'll talk about later also a bit. So this is important mechanism that is good to remember that some things like that exist. So the chronic pain leads to even more pain, yes, so that's why the chronic pain is so dangerous, because it may lead to even increasing the pain on and on and on, and this is a vicious cycle that it's very important to stop as soon as possible.